Hey everyone, it's Tammy again. This is going to be part 2 of a little bit about me. So I wanted to explain today why is my channel called Tammy Salamone, the Pink Survivor. So for those of you who do not know, this is why. So back in 2017, out of the blue, I was just having a routine mammogram, no symptoms at all, feeling really great, and just went in for my test. And then they had called me back, about a week later and said, oh, we want you to come back in for additional images. This had happened one other time to me, so I wasn't too concerned, so I went back for an ultrasound. They did an ultrasound, and then they were like a little concerned. I could tell it was a little different, and then wanted me to come in for a biopsy. So that was different. So I went back for the biopsy, and then they said, they would call me in 3 days with the results. Actually, they wanted me to come in 3 days for the results. And I said, oh, just call me, because in my head, I knew it wasn't going to be cancer. So they called me and they said, actually, we're sorry, it is breast cancer. And it was called DCIS. And that means that it's stage 0. It's caught very early. It's only in the milk ducts of your breast. So caught early, we can, take care of this. Everything's going to be great. Everything's going to be fine, they said. But here's your choices. You could do a mastectomy, single or double, and be done. Or you could do a lumpectomy with radiation. And I believe it was about 8 to 10 weeks of radiation. You have to go in 5 days a week. It's a lot. I didn't really want to go through the radiation, but at the same time, I also didn't want to have a mastectomy. Went back and forth with my husband, prayed a lot about it, researched things, asked a lot of other doctors, got, a second opinion. Went with a double mastectomy because I wanted them to look even. I wanted to, feel confident about the way I looked, but also I wanted to avoid radiation. So hoping with this surgery, I could have this surgery and be done. Had the mastectomy. It was a big decision though. I don't want to just brush it off. I mean, I was really upset as the weeks got closer and the days got closer. I was crying and crying because they are literally cutting your breasts off. And I mean, it's a harsh way to say it, but it's really the truth. So I accepted it. I didn't want to do it, but I did it. Then 2 weeks later, I got the pathology report from the surgery, and my oncologist said everything looks good. I think we got everything, but we did find a second tumor. Total shock, because I had the additional MRI, 2 biopsies ended up, and also 2 MRIs, and they all missed this second tumor because it was so far along, pushed back on my chest wall. So she says, we're just missing one more test. If that test comes back negative, we're good to go. She calls me a week later and says it's HER2 positive. I don't know what that is either at that time. And now, instead of being done, because I was going to do reconstruction as well, you'll have to have 12 weeks of chemo and a year of this drug called Herceptin, which is a targeted drug for HER2 positive breast cancers. And I was just like, what? You're kidding me. And on the phone, she's telling me this. The first thing I asked was, am I going to lose my hair? And she's like, yes, you will. And if I thought I was upset before, I was really upset now, because now I was avoiding radiation and now I was going to put poison into my body. And it was going to take a year to complete. So we're on fast forward and we're just checking with getting another second opinion. Everyone says I need to do, chemo. So I asked the plastic surgeon, can we speed up my reconstruction? Let's get that done before I start chemo. He said yes. The oncologist said yes. I coordinate everything, get my second surgery done. And then it was a week or 3 weeks later, I can't remember, start chemo. I think it was 2 weeks later, actually. Then I start chemo. So I have 12 weeks of chemo, 1 time a week. Go through that. It was rough. It was not easy. I was pretty good for the first half, and then the last half I started to get a little nauseous, but I would always pick myself right back up, continue to walk at least an hour a day, every single day, even on chemo days. I would do some kind of workout and just try to slowly kind of keep up my strength, and just it helped me physically and mentally. So it was such a big part of my pre-cancer and during treatment and after. So that's why I wanted to make this channel of showing everybody how important it is to work out, whether you have cancer or you're in the middle of cancer or you've been done for years. So back to that story. And then also I finished the chemo, and then I'm also taking this other drug every 3 weeks through an IV. I have to go into the chemo center for 1 year. I'm exhausted. I finished in June of 2018. I'm mentally and physically just exhausted. And today I'm coming to you, it's May of 2021. So, you know, it hasn't been that long, but as you can see, I'm feeling great. My strength is back. I continue to work out. I literally never stopped. I just adjusted things, and I want to be here to help you do that. But if you don't have cancer, great, good for you, and hopefully you never will, but get stronger and be in the best shape of your life just in case you do have to go through something like that. It's going to help you so much with your recovery, and you're just going to feel so much better for it. And then throughout treatments, it gives you just some purpose and something to focus on. And then afterwards, your body heals so much quicker. The doctors were amazed at how quickly I would heal. I would bounce back after surgeries, or my scars would heal. And it just plays such an important role mentally and physically. So that's kind of a short version of why I named this channel, or why I go by The Pink Survivor. And I hope that's helpful, and I hope I can help any of you in the future. Reach out to me, leave me comments. I have a website, and all of that information is in the comments, in the comment section here. All right, I'll see you guys soon for a workout. Bye. And so I wanted to tell you about that HER2 positive breast cancer. So it's a more aggressive form of breast cancer. You can be triple positive, you can be triple negative, you could be, double negative. There's all kinds of different breast cancers out there. So just because this was my story or my treatment does not mean it applies to anybody else. So it depends on so many factors. How big is your tumor? How many tumors are there? How old are you? So many things. So I want to make that clear that my, treatment doesn't mean that it's right for everybody else. And so also, as far as the HER2 breast cancer, the Herceptin that they gave me every 3 weeks, it was a game changer. And at first I was like, oh my gosh, why am I gonna have to do this for a year? What a drag, who wants to do that? But as I researched it, it had been less than 20 years that they even really been using Herceptin for triple positive and HER2 positive breast cancers, because it had gone through all the trials. It took so long to get it approved, but it took my breast cancer from one of the lowest survival rates to one of the highest. So be thankful, be grateful for the treatments out there. That is a wonderful discovery that they've had in the last 20, 30 years. And it just takes a long time to get it to be used for the mass population. But that's why we want to continue with breast cancer research. It's the most important. We need other drugs. We need drugs for triple negative, and we also need it for stage 4. Definitely need some more alternatives. So just wanted to tell you guys about that. I've had this little guy with me the whole time.
Was he there throughout your treatment too?
He actually was there all along, right next to me as I would recover.